are we up to today in terms of training? I know we've got a few different things that we want to look at. So.
Yeah. So we're going to go through your new sessions, or one of your new sessions. I mean, the movements aren't really much different.
Yep.
Similar. But we just want to make sure that we dial in on not so much form, but it's the aggression, isn't it, really?
Yep.
It's now coming back away from the fact you've done being quite steady for some time, that we can add in a little bit of aggression. Because I think what's happened when you've tried to go a bit too steady for too long, maybe we've overworked the core a little.
Yeah.
And not that we don't want to not work the core.
Yeah, keep refining the waistline and sort of bringing it down anyway.
And it's not just the waistline, it's the entire upper body, torso thickness. Yeah.
Erectors and everything, so yeah.
So now it's about trying to remove that a little bit while still continuing to build up your glutes, which is going to just take refinement, right? But training, you've trained so well for so long.
Yeah.
Now it's about just going through this session and making sure you feel good with it.
How am I feeling about Olympia at the moment? How are you feeling about Olympia at the moment? We're not even sure if Olympia is happening at the moment, are we?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we might as well be honest. Obviously, you haven't been very well.
Yeah.
When someone's not very well as a bodybuilder, and you don't train as much because you can't, not because she's not got the mindset to. If she had the ability to train, she would, but she was very unwell. And off the back of that, it just affects your physique a little bit. You don't want to go to the Olympia, even if you've qualified, you don't want to go to the Olympia and be anything other than your best.
Yeah.
You always want to be better, even if it's just a 1% thing as you step on stage anytime. But going to the Olympia, like you've been and you've done the Olympia now. The goal next was to go to the Olympia and start building up the ranks.
Yes.
And we are always honest together that if we think that's going to happen, then we would say it's going to happen.
Exactly.
If we think that potentially the look's not quite there,
just keep doing the do as normal, I guess, for now, and then we just make the decision as we get closer. But essentially, the ball's going to be in Meg's court to make the decision, isn't it? So it'll be a hard one to take.
Yeah.
But I know that, like, with every decision that is made, you're always going to look back at it eventually in a positive way, even if at the time it doesn't feel that great. And it's just aligning yourself with that bigger goal in the future that you do want to achieve.
I do not want you to go to the Olympia. I know that you don't want to get up. You would be very disheartened if you got up there and you came off and you weren't your best.
No, absolutely. I agree.
You were good last year, but you weren't your best.
No.
And you were upset.
Yeah, very true. Yep, that's where we're at.
What have we done this week?
Working on today? Do you know?
Glutes always.
Right, should we go and get this session done?
So I want you to feel in this side bit here, as well as a little bit into this bit, but mostly into this side bit. But because I want you to target that outer glute, you know when you do your side shot, and you have that really nice line through the glute, which we all really crave for, right? And you love it when you can see it. That's going to help that.
Right, okay. So we're essentially going to be sat more upright now.
Yeah. Now the last thing that I want you to do, you know when you drive out, obviously yes, hold your tummy, keep your back flat, but I want you to be a bit more aggressive.
Right, okay.
So try and think, boom, pause, drive. If it means the first few you kind of bounce a little bit, just until you find that range, that's fine.
Okay.
And again. Good. You went a bit like, most people flex.
Yeah.
I extend a little bit.
I kind of think
in a little.
Like toe.
A pointed toe.
Toe down. Like, yeah.
I always go toe down for anything glutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Even like a leg extension, most people go like this, but I just find it gets my shin more than anything. So a little bit of toes down. That's from football. I'm adamant that's from football.
Huh?
Nine, 10. Good. And again. Nice. No partials.
I know it's tempting, isn't it?
It is very tempting.
How long are you now?
It was 5 weeks on Sunday.
Okay, cool. Sick. Hey. Is this going to be the one?
It fucking best be.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Going for tips.
Right, okay.
Never done so before. It's like a good show.
Let's get it. Honestly, it's time. We're rooting for you.
I'm going to do these very different to you. You don't need to do them like me. That's why I always just go with either.
And you said basically don't like lock in like as much.
Yeah, like yeah.
Just the other
know,
day
like-
I did it more like,
Yeah, to try and stop myself from doing it, I just do that sometimes.
okay, see how it goes. You want this further back so I can come through
A little bit, yeah.
about here.
Yeah. Creates a bit more challenge. Good. Good.
You know we said about the standing leg.
I know, yeah. When we were
Because
saying
we've
it,
moved.
I was just like,
We've moved. I think because
Yeah.
I'm used to being closer, maybe the distribution's
probably a bit different.
Oh,
You're probably
yeah.
using your toe a little bit more.
Huh?
Just take a second, it's fine. So we are currently on exercise number 2, but we'll talk about exercise number 1, which is abduction. So there you're going to be targeting your upper glute. We know as a bikini competitor, we don't want a huge upper glute. Not that anyone ever really can build like the biggest of upper glutes because it's such a small muscle. It's like a rear delt. It's such a small, tiny little sliver of the muscle compared to something like your side delt or your tricep or your bicep, like it's tiny. Your upper glute is so small, and some people are given great genetics to have a larger one than others, but it's never massive. But bikini, everything still needs to be in balance. When you're a wellness competitor, the need for a muscle in that area to be quite large or quite dominating is needed. Whereas for bikini, it's needed for the balance, the hourglass shape, etc. So that's where we're starting because this is the priority of the session. We want to make sure the upper glute is getting a huge focus as well as just glute as a whole. So abduction, we focused on leaning back, holding the stomach tight, keeping contact point with the handles. If you lean forwards, you will use a lot more glute max, which is fine because if you are bikini, you know, you do need that area to grow as well. But if you are truly trying to target the upper glute, we want to try and target as much as possible. We've obviously moved into a kickback variation here that's also for the upper glute, so the glute med. Slightly different in that we're not just going to go straight backwards like a normal kickback, but more you kick towards the side. There's many a different way to do a glute med kickback, and if you are quite advanced and you trial a few different ways, you will probably find one that feels best for you. Kerry's is different to mine, mine's different to Kerry's. Whatever feels good, go with that one. Because I'm not saying that you should train for sensation, but because it's such a small muscle, if you can feel that little muscle working, it's likely going to be able to get worked and grow. So 2 different variations that you can see. They might not look that different, but if you just look at it closely, you'll be able to see.
It's so misleading to like, as well, like obviously it's my own journey and my clients understand that, but the way I train versus like how I push them to train,
Yeah, but
it's
they've got
essentially
a
very different. But when you are
building.
an amateur coming up, you want muscle thrown on everywhere. So you can train like that. Whereas for me, we can't have too much muscle in the wrong places.
And it's very different for ladies that come into it and they look like a bikini.
Pardon?
It's very different when someone comes in not having a lot of muscle compared to someone
Yeah.
that comes in and they look like they are a competitor.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm happy to adapt and do whatever obviously is required. 3 glute med kickback and then 3 kickbacks, and I'm like, bastard. Stab it.
Kerry trains really well. She's an extremist in that she likes to push very hard. When you become top end of bikini, there's no serious need for mass. So you have to scale back a little bit at that point in that you can't really be pushing things to failure. Once you get to that point where you have built the mass, it's more about retention, slight modifications and specific areas that you need to bring up, but it's no like hard hitting movements like when you're a big old bodybuilder and you see people whacking on 6-7 plates aside on a deadlift. It's very different for bikini, so you have to be very specific. You have to make sure that you're training to someone's needs. So trying to pull Kerry's extremist mindset away from training sometimes it's a little bit difficult. We were at the Olympia last year and she was pushing all out to failure 2 days out from a competition. Definitely not something that you need to do, but also that type of mindset's what's driven her to be able to achieve what she has. So it's a double-edged sword.
I guess when you're doing like 3 sets of kickbacks, and then I've got another version of a kickback in the session, but essentially all the ones we have programmed are to build my physique to where I want it to be on stage. So you kind of learn to love them, really, to be honest. There's nothing that I'm necessarily like, about. No, I quite enjoy my program, to be fair. It's very repetitive, so it's very different to what amateurs may use, or even some pros. It's just dependent on obviously the physique and where my physique is at. So my physique requires different exercises, more of the same exercises, only train glutes, I don't train hamstrings, calves, quads, biceps, triceps, chest, only train shoulders, lat, glutes. So it's very focused on that, whereas like coming up as I was an amateur, it was more targeted throughout like the entire physique and adding on muscle mass everywhere. But now I'll outgrow my class if I was to do that and become essentially unbalanced for the class.
We're going to do this a bit different.
Okay. I'm presuming I'm going to have to take this off.
Okay.
Is it heavy? Because that looked heavy for you.
It's because it's a bit different.
Huh?
It's because it's a bit different.
Okay. Okay. Right, wait. Say that again, what you want me to do. So it's at the bottom, so...
Bottom, tuck, squeeze, drive. Yeah, and
Okay.
that's fine. If that goes there, don't worry about it.
Right.
As hard as possible.
So down.
Clench.
Up.
Nice. Take a second to clench. Clench. So you didn't need to take that, Brett.
No, yeah, because I couldn't even clench.
Yeah. If you get to the bottom and you can't clench, track it. Now it's about learning how to do that.
I know. In the phase that I'm in with like my menstrual cycle, I think usually, well not usually, always, when I do like hip thrusts especially, or maybe even a leg press or 45-degree hyper, I find like when I get up, I just start to feel a bit dizzy. So I just take my time a little bit more throughout. Not everyone has to navigate their menstrual cycle in the same way. Some people don't get affected by it at all and can just train normally. Whereas like for me, who's a little bit more sensitive, let's say, around my menstrual cycle, then I just have to take a little bit more time sometimes because I do get off and feel like initially quite dizzy after the set. So just take a little bit more time and that's it, basically. It has been like a hard few days, to be fair, with regards to PMDD, which has taken a bit of like management, which is annoying because obviously it's my first week back to like proper training, properly feeling well, and then I kind of feel like got a little bit kind of struck again with having to like, I don't know what her plan was, whether it was to push us on a little bit more, and now the menstrual cycles come around, we have to take a little bit more care, but I don't know. We just got to wait for that to pass now. I had a menstrual cycle at 1 week, 6 days post-show, so I am due on within the next like 5-ish days. Obviously that is relatively close to, especially off the back of a very long season, to be able to have your menstrual cycle so soon after the show. And I think that was a big impact as to why I got unwell again. But we will speak about that in the podcast room at the end. gonna crack on with training.
A lot of bikini athletes used to sprint and wellness.
I just think there's so many
Fast
ways to
twitch.
do stuff.
I know. But essentially, if we need to,
But
if we need
fine.
to atrophy that, we need to use less weight. Essentially,
Yeah.
if we need to use less weight, we need to find a way for it to be challenging. Otherwise, you're not going to enjoy it.
Back in the day when I was, way back in the day when I first started training, I used to train fuckloads of reps.
Yeah.
I'm talking like 50 reps on the leg press. Super set with lunges. Sick on the floor after.
If you're here, you're going to use hamstring on this.
Okay.
So you wanna be
okay. Okay.
Literally like a prog. You know backstage, when you do your little RDLs and you're like this,
Yeah.
I want you to do that over here.
Okay,
So
cool. When you do your little RDLs.
you know what I mean?
No, I just liked your like. That's what I do backstage.
like a killie crab. Just really try and fight. You know when you come down, you do have a little bit where you go like this when you come down.
Oh, okay,
Really,
yeah.
really keep them bent all the time. As solid as a rock. Solid as a rock.
Okay. You made me want to break out into song then. Okay, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And it's a no.
That's weird. That always hurts
And that
me.
gets
But that hurt.
hurt.
Like,
We don't want that.
that
Didn't you
scared me.
hurt that a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we don't want that.
I'll try again next week. That was savage.
We'll not do that. What about a B stance cardio?
Yeah, that's fine. I felt that in my glutes. That's really made me angry.
No. Let's go and do a B stance. So your hips, I want you to twist them slightly towards your working side. There. But then I want you to think about just pushing them back as you come
Pushing
down.
them back.
So that slight twist will create more tension in that glute. So you're here. It's just slight.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then push back. Just like what we used to do with a split squat. Right.
Still putting weight through my big toe.
Yeah, that's
All
fine.
in the front
What I
foot.
want you to do, you know when you come down, I only
Yeah.
want you to come to halfway there and then drive. I don't want you to go all the way down. Pause, drive.
This feels good.
Woohoo! We found a hip hinge.
Yes, we have. Maybe this exercise is going to get my glutes.
And the only thing with this one, only for you, not for anyone else, I wouldn't be explosive on the way up on this one, just
Okay.
because I don't want to hurt your back. I think if we were to, and you ended up hyperextending, I think that you'd hurt yourself a little bit.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
with where the weight's loaded.
Was that a good speed? Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, as you get a bit more confident, you might be able to be a little bit faster on the way down. But I think let's build that confidence first.
So obviously we have just hit a session. It's been good to meet up with Meg. Not seen her in a long time, to be fair. Obviously I speak to her every single day, literally. I have done for literally about 3 years. I'm not even lying. She said that to me the other day. But basically, yeah, I've been MIA on YouTube. I've tried to update you guys as much as I kind of can along Instagram as well with everything that has been going on. Now, obviously we have spoken about some of that. Essentially, I'll try and cut the long story short. I got unwell off the back of my last show, which was 5 weeks ago now, in Portugal. So show was fine. The physique wasn't showing any signs of like illness or like anything. We were really happy with the physique, to be honest with you. Wasn't happy with the placing in terms of I felt like we had a really good look, and I guess it kind of took me back a little bit when I placed 9th, which is not saying that like the placing was wrong and other people shouldn't have beat me. I'm literally not sitting there saying that. It's just from my standards, like usually I'm, you know, within the top 3 or top 5, taken a couple of 3rd places this year, 2nd places, like 3 2nd places last year or something like that. So yeah, that was a show I felt actually quite confident going into, which it got me. I'm not gonna lie, it got me. I was quite emotional after, which you guys know that I'm literally not. Usually I'll get off stage and be like, like would have loved to have won that or whatever. But we moved, like, how do we progress? But I actually stood watching the top 4, and watching the top 4, I was like, oh my gosh, like what? And I was thinking to myself, what do I do from here? Like, what more can I give? Like, been through this extensive gut protocol, not blooming had like a diet drink or anything for like since December last year, no chewing gums, no nothing. And I just was like, bought the waistline in, like, I just, we must have been back into the season, tired looking back now, and just thinking to myself, like, what more can I do? What more can I give? I give everything to this, like, which we all do. We literally all do. So I think basically in terms of that, I got unwell pretty soon after that. It was a middle ground unwell. So it was kind of like one of those where you're unwell, but you're not. And I was like, am I unwell? Am I not? Am I unwell? Am I not? It wasn't anything too bad. It was literally just like a general kind of like, I was like, am I going to get a cold or am I not? So it was nothing too savage. But the show finished on the Sunday and we were staying to holiday until the Friday. I took a little step back from work. So I'm still doing daily check-ins. All that stopped was the training videos that my clients send me, just so me and Mark were able to take some switch off time and, you know, relax into the evening once our first, you know, work block's done with no training, as it was literally just meant to be like a rest week off the back of that show before we got into the Olympia prep. Each day we were trying to do something, but I was just not feeling that great. So we would do a little something and it was just making me like fatigued. So I think by trying to, you know, like you do on holiday, trying to sightsee or go out for a meal or do something, it just felt like even that was pushing me. And I think it essentially did. And then basically on the Thursday night, we were going out for my first meal. So this is like since December. Yeah. So my first off-plan meal where I said to Meg, essentially, like, I'm going to have a different variation of protein, that being I was going to have like some fresh fish and I was going to have potatoes, which I'd not had since December, instead of rice. And I was going to have a little alcoholic beverage with Mark. Anyway, I'm getting ready. I'm in the mirror. Just about to leave to book the Uber. Haven't eaten anything away from like obviously the gut protocol or anything at that point. You can look back in my previous YouTube videos and you'll see the foods listed there. And basically I just felt this little lump at the roof of my mouth and was like, like, that's interesting. So I looked in the mirror and I saw like this tiny little blood blister. So I literally said to Mark, he was getting ready as well, I went, bro, look at this. And he was like, looked at it and he was like, oh, like, that's weird. And I'm like, yeah. Just continued getting ready. And then I felt it in my mouth and was like, this feels like it's getting bigger. So I looked in the mirror and I was like, wow, that's actually like grown quite a fair amount, to be fair. Went to Mark, I'm sure this has got bigger. And he's like, yeah, it has. Then I turned around and like within seconds, I literally said to him, this is getting like bigger now. Like, this is getting bigger. So he's looked at it and he's like, yeah, that's literally like, it's filling up with blood. I'll try and find a quick photo. So it was filling up with blood, really hurting. And basically here it is, loads of blood in the bowl, spitting out, whatever. So this thing just like exploded and was like, this is still growing. So Mark's panicking. We don't know how big this thing's going to get or what's caused it or why. And yeah, it just exploded. My initial response was, well, Mark was running up and down the stairs trying to speak to the people that own the Airbnb to get them to call an ambulance, because we don't know how big this is going to get or what it is, and is it going to literally close up my throat? Is it going to cause anything else? So I'm like panicking. I'm trying to meditate literally with like breathing, trying to keep my body like and my central nervous system as calm as. My initial response was literally to call Meg. She was on holiday with her parents. She picked up the phone like, what do you want? Like, I'm out. Like, it was like 6 p.m. at night. She was like, I'm out with my parents. Like, are you okay? And I was like, accept your FaceTime. She was like, let me quickly just check my WhatsApp, like, because I actually could see I'd sent her messages. So she called me back straight away and she was just like, whoa, like, what the hell? But she was keeping me calm while Mark was doing that. The ambulance people came, they hadn't seen it before. They asked if I'd had any hot drinks or anything like that. I was like, I had one, like 2 hours ago. I've just been sipping on water, wasn't dehydrated or anything like that. No different foods at this point. Like I said, was just about to have an off-plan meal. So we spent 8 hours in A&E, and all in all, it pretty much came down to the fact of I was run down. The next day when I woke up, when we finally got to sleep, after being in A&E and being checked over and all that kind of stuff, I woke up with a cold. So I think this happens to everyone at Christmas, they'll like slow down and then everyone gets unwell. I think essentially like I slowed down, last show was done, client work backed off a little bit, and then I got unwell. So in the mix of that, you guys know I struggle with PMDD. I actually came on my menstrual cycle again after losing it. I can't remember when I lost it. I think on my sheet at that point it was maybe 70-ish days. So I came on my cycle 1 week, 6 days post-show. Obviously, we ate up to maintenance. All expenditure was pulled, sleep, recovery, everything was still in the same place. Nutrition was still the same at this point as well. So the rest really helped push that along. So that's great. Blood work off the back of that. Now we've had blood results back. We got some from the doctors from the NHS and also from Transform Now, which are my sponsor. And we got my blood work done. Hormones are all in a really optimal range. But obviously with me, as you know, I have PMDD, and around my cycle time, around ovulation, my immune system does become more suppressed than the normal person. So I think the double whammy of like the shows and everything like that, and then the menstrual cycle was just a recipe basically for disaster on my body, which was unfortunate because we were in Portugal trying to have a holiday and have a really good time. I was unable to fly, unfit to fly. We ended up staying there for 4 weeks, literally in total, instead of literally just 5 days post-show. So that was crazy. We did get to enjoy the last bit of it. Meg did push me to eat some more foods and to try some different foods and things like that, obviously because it had been so long and my body was essentially like ready by this point to be able to utilize the food, unlike before. And we kind of wanted to see how it would, respond to certain vegetables. So I'm not talking like massive off-plan meals or anything like that. I'm just talking just like different vegetables. Yes, there was a lot of hype around broccoli because it has been some time since your girl has had some broccoli. That was enjoyed, and some different vegetables, different fruits and things like that. And then, so it'd been 4 total weeks. No, 3.5 weeks off of training, with some sessions being 1 set only. This counts my first week. So from today's session to last week, counts my first session, first full week, of being back to full volume training. Before that, to get myself back in at around like the 3.5 week mark, we did 1 set only. Went back too soon a few times and ended up having to take more days off, hence the communication that Meg and Mark were having in this instance as well. Mark plays a huge role in my journey, and I truly couldn't have done it without both Mark and Meg, because it has been really hard. I did have at this point, we're 6.5 weeks out for the Olympia now, so I took 4 weeks off of training essentially, and I don't know right now whether or not we are going to be doing the Olympia or whether we're not, because my physique's, it's taken a toll on my physique, especially having 4 weeks off. And it sucks. It really, really sucks. There's going to be a lot of emotions. There is, but essentially for me, like we already said, like nothing changes. We had to push my body weight up a lot quicker than we normally would. For me, literally, I'm usually like a kilo up with my menstrual cycle back, 4 weeks post show. This time, I just wasn't recovering, so we just pushed food a lot more. Introduced obviously some downtime with Mark where I had the off plan thing, and ended up basically at around 58 kilos as we hit ovulation. Saw a drop back within a week of being back to 55.5 kilos. So essentially not much more to dig off, whereas we did think, wow, 58 kilos, and we were sitting there for a while, probably going to be too much of an ask, seeing as we've got 8 weeks to be ready for the Olympia. But then obviously that week went by and we landed at 55.5. Stage weight where we kind of need to sit is 54-ish kilos. But you guys, it's not just from a body weight perspective that we make decisions. it's how the look looks. And right now, I'm not really happy with it. Like, yes, we've only been back in the gym for a week, so it will take some time for the fullness to come back. We're not low on calories at the moment at all. Calories are still around 2,100, 1,900 or something. And we've obviously seen the body weight come down, but hopefully on that amount of food, we'll be able to get the pop back through my physique. But yeah, at this point, yeah, we just don't know whether we're in or out. And I guess that's basically the update. So I wasn't burnt out like we spoke about, not from like the just where I'm like, I'm done with the sport and I want to go out and do this and do that. It's not from that perspective. Like, I'm through and through bodybuilding and enjoy it. It gives me purpose in life, and I freaking love it. Like, I just love it. We're all different and we all go about our feelings post shows and things like that. But for me, like, I just like doing the same thing all the time, is who I am, and that's what I thrive off. So it wasn't that, it was literally just maybe we had pushed a little bit too much, which is really unfortunate because we're obviously quite high in the points now, out of 25. But we have to remember as well that last year I did an extensive gut protocol, which is all documented on here for you guys to go back and see, which takes its toll from the body. There was 2 weeks of antibiotics involved and all that kind of stuff. Then we went straight into the Arnold prep, competed from March all the way through till July, I think. Yeah. So yeah, we always learn, like me and Meg already discussed. We always learn. My mind, like Meg says, is essentially sometimes too strong. That will keep pushing. Is it sometimes a good thing? Yes. Sometimes a flaw? Yes. But like I said, we always learn from this. And yeah, if you're someone like me and you're experiencing the same kind of thing right now, you don't know whether you're doing a show or not, just home in on what bodybuilding is, why you do it, and the joy it brings you. And just always remember that regardless, you're always working towards your next goal, whether that be this year, next year, or anything. So anything, all the choices you make now are setting the tone for your future self. And that's why, even though I could be down about this and whatever, I'm not, because I know my body doesn't respond well in that emotional state. Therefore, I need to keep things elevated for future progress, even if that's not short-term progress. So yeah, big love to you all. Thank you for all of your support. I know you've been reaching out to me on Instagram, and I literally appreciate it so very much. You'll be surprised how much you guys really do keep me going throughout my personal journey. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And like I said, big love to you all. Catch you soon.